So I'm sitting up this morning and I was on, y'all know I like my TikTok. And I came across this video where it was a young lady, she was an African woman, and her advertisement, she was advertising for women that was experiencing traction alopecia. And she said that a lot of you think that you can't get these hairstyles, but let me show you. She had a lady sitting there. She was the crown of her head was literally grown. She had some strands, very few strands up there, like little right in the center. She had some, but all around the perimeter of the crown, there was none. And so she said that you think that you can't get these hairstyles, these braiding hairstyles, but I'm going to show you that you can. And so the next video, it showed her hair really looked nice, guys. And I was like, that looks nice. And I said, well, let me see what the comments are saying. And when I saw what the comments were saying, I was actually pleased to see that clients were like, I know, it really, really looks good. But at the same time, what's going to happen later on, because she has traction alopecia, isn't that causing tension? So they were asking, but the person never came back to address the questions that were asked. However, as I scrolled down, I saw some women that said, hey, I'm experiencing traction alopecia. If I send you a picture, do you think that you would be able to catch my hair up? It's really, really short and it's breaking off. Can you catch my hair up? Now, that brought up two red flags for me. The first one is, and that's going to be the name of this topic of this video, is your hairstylist is the key. If you have a hairstylist, she is the key to whether you will have hair or you will lose hair. That's what we come to, and I'm going to explain why, and hopefully you guys catch it and you make some changes going on. That was the first red flag. The second one was the fact of, I realized in that moment that a lot of us don't understand the difference between a cosmetologist and a hairstylist, because we call them all the same. It's all jumbled up in one: beautician, hairstylist, right? But a cosmetologist is a person of science. Like, we learn science. We don't just learn a specialty thing. Natural hair, and I'm going to say something about that in a minute. People that just do natural hair, quick weaves, lace fronts, braids, those different things, those are more considered aesthetics. They're design hairstylists and aesthetics, but they don't have anything to do with the science. That's why we have a lot of pushback when it comes to shampooing of the hair or any extra service, because they want to get you in and out. So that is really the key point I need you guys to hear, is the fact that if you're going to an aesthetic person, hairstylist, then you're going for design. So if that's the case, then when it comes to your hair care and making sure that you're keeping your hair, right, you're not compromising your hair, that's a decision you're going to have to make. And I'm going to tell you some things you have to do. Now, let me say this, because I have a few friends that they are not cosmetologists and they do beautiful work. And I have watched them. Now, some hairstyles I have seen where they have compromised, but at the end of the day, I think that at this point it becomes the client's responsibility to say, hey, I really love your work, but I'm going to give my hair some rest and get some treatments and some services done, right? And I'm in between those things. And as well as when I decide to come back to you, I'm going to go here first. It may cost you a little extra money now, but it's better than to do it now than on the latter end. You are one of the people women that are saying, hey, I have traction alopecia. There was one more thing that was alarming, and I realized that as well. A lot of you are self-diagnosing yourself. You're going on Google, you're looking at pictures, and you're saying, yeah, I have that, traction alopecia. And it's so many different kinds of alopecia, right? That maybe what you have, maybe what you think you have because you self-diagnosed yourself, you don't even have. And a lot of you, and I have said this before on a video, a lot of you think that you have permanent hair loss and you don't. So let's quickly go through some of the things that I want you to look out for and understand. So I just explained to you the difference between a natural hairstylist. So those are people that you're going in for ponytails and different things like that. They're not washing your hair. They're not doing anything pertaining to that. They shouldn't. They're not doing any of that. They're aesthetics. What does aesthetics mean? It's just painting on. It's designing. It's what they're actually doing. So when you're coming to them, you're saying, hey, I have traction alopecia. The only thing that they can do for you is camouflage your hair. And it's camouflage your hair so we won't see the bald spots. But eventually, it will come to that place. That's why we're licensed. We have to be licensed because we're dealing with the science of things. We're dealing with hazardous chemicals, right? A lot of times. And when I say hazardous, it can become hazardous if you don't know how to use it. Recently, I also saw a young lady on YouTube that was showing how to bleach a wig. And I was like, well, thank God it's a wig. And she was using 40 volume and she was like, oh, and she started mixing it. And, she was like, I know the consistency. And she was doing all of this. And I was like, that's pretty cool because she's just doing it on the hair. And I thought about it and I said, but there's somewhere in the world, there's a woman that's looking at how the color lift on that wig and is saying, I want that same color for my hair. And I'm going to use the same products that she used, the 40 volume. I'm going to use those things and I'm going to do that on my hair. And those are the women that have fried hair. And then they come to us and say, hey, can you save it? And no, we can't, right? So it's a lot of that's going on. Y'all know I am Coach Lee. This is one of them hard videos that you don't want to explain, but you have to explain. It offends a lot of people, but I just need you guys to understand. So part of a cosmetologist is the fact that we have trichology. That's a study of the scalp. So we have some education when it comes to trichology, right? So it's the study of the scalp, chemistry, and sanitation laws. That's the difference. We can legally do chemical services and understand hair care holistically. So those are the things, meaning like scalp health, porosity, elasticity, your pH balance, scalp disorders. We can be able to look at those things and see what's going on. A lot of times you will hear me say you need to see a dermatologist or a trichologist because there's different levels of trichology that I don't have the expertise in. And then for a dermatologist, there's different levels that a trichologist is limited as well that a doctor can do, right? So why does the difference matter? Why does the difference matter? It matters because if you're sitting in a chair with someone who is not educated and uninformed when you may have maybe something going on with your hair that needs attention immediately, but you're in there, you're getting a service done, that's going to be a problem for you later on. Then you're going to experience hair loss. You're going to be, like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And I always notice, I'll hear clients that say, I had noticed when she did this. I saw it when it happened. The bald spot came, but I kept going back. I have seen that. So that is the difference on why, what's the difference and why is that important for Black women, okay? So that's a big, big deal, okay? The thing that I want to say to you, and it's not going to be a long video at all right? I just wanted to get that out because it was really hard to look at this, and especially you guys that are going to, I'm going to call them out, the African hair salons, the braiders, and they don't care. I have seen a lot of that. That is something that you need to pay attention to. Any of the salons, before you sit in someone's chair, ask the necessary questions. Are you a licensed cosmetologist? How long have you been in the industry? Can I see some of your work? Where's her license at? If she has a license, explain to them the needs that you may need. A lot of you don't even do that because you care more about the style, that the person said that they can catch up your hair and braid it, or sleek it back, they can still catch it up, or you still got some edges and they got some new trick where they cut the hair and they lay it down, they glue that down and make it look like you got edges. They have all these tricks and things like that. So a lot of you don't even care whether they're licensed or not. So you're gonna sit in that chair. As long as you get that hairstyle and you can fake the funk for a couple of weeks or a few months, you're fine with that. But it's going to come a time where you're going to have permanent hair loss. And none of my videos will be able to help you. You will be stuck having to get those hairstyles that you once thought was just trendy and that you were still young and that it's cute, and you're just gonna do it a couple of times and you'll be fine. And then it ends up being addictive, because a lot of hair extensions, I know they're addictive. The styles and something else coming out and something else coming out, and before you know it, you have compromised your hair to the last strand. And now you're stuck at an older age, scared to go out when you're going out on dates, scared for that person that you may get into a serious relationship with and want to marry, to let them know, hey, I have no hair on the hair. I am bald. And please, for you triggered women that have a medical issue, this is not talking about you. I am speaking to women that are pushing themselves into CCCA traction alopecia. If that is not you, please do not come for me in the comments, because if I catch it, I will address you and you will not like the response. It will be professional, but I will get you together. The reason for this is that a lot of hairstylists, cosmetologists that work hard, they're tired of fixing your issues. And then once your hair starts growing back, you go right back to that vicious cycle. And then you come back to us and then you want us to fix it again. And it has to come a time that clients have to take responsibility. Now this video is out, I challenge you to, when you go to a salon, that stylist is not a celebrity. You're the celebrity. You should be treated with respect, your time and everything. You're the celebrity. You should be, that stylist should say, hairstylist should say, what is it that you need? And if you have not a medical issue, if you have an issue going on with your scalp or anything like that and they cannot help you, I suggest you stand up and find another hairstylist. If they don't offer consultation, that's the first red flag and the only red flag that you need to understand that, hey, this is not the place for me. If they offer a consultation and they don't ask you the questions about, are you allergic to anything? What's your hair history? If they're not asking you any of those different things, that's your responsibility, again, to get up and get out of the chair. All right. I promise you, this is not a judgment video. I'm not judging you, but I'm trying to make you guys aware. A lot of this is based on you as the person, the self-love person that loves herself, how much you care about yourself, and it's based on the people that you trust to become intimate, because that's an intimate move when we're touching your hair. We're that close to you, and you're trusting them with your hair. All right. Remember, your crown is your glory. I pray this video helps you. Please, please, please comment, subscribe, share, become a member. Remember to subscribe to Beauty Pioneers. We come on every week, Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I pray this video bless you. And guess what, guys? I will see you next video. Bye.